Yeah.
So
Because I want to see that.
the goal for this class, of course, is to learn the basics of putting your material in an online creation tool, website creation tool. The secondary goal is hopefully to leave with a link to that site that you can give to Zach Fletcher, who's our communications director. Maybe you can have that linked to from our USD250 website, and that can be your teacher site if you want it to be. We're going to cover Wix and Weebly. We're going to try and follow this outline that I gave you. I do a section where I cover it, and then I give you a couple minutes where you can do it on your own. That way we can kind of trade off and see it done and then do it yourself. I've already created accounts. If you want to do that while I'm talking, that's fine, but you'll have to get through this process, sign up and everything. Since I'm already signed up, I'm just going to log in and get going with it. The first one I'm going to try is Wix, since I have it up. And like I told you guys before, I'm just going to go, as you need something, let's just stop and work on that. I don't really have to follow a format. It's up to you guys and what you want to accomplish out of the class. Oops, I hit sign up. I don't know what's that. You guys will want to sign up, though, if you want to use it.
So
And
when
really
it says
pick
sign
one.
in with Google, I saw that on the
Yeah,
side.
you
So
certainly could.
So by doing that, when I sign into my email, then will there be a link or something on there?
It won't be as simple as like the Google Sites comes up in the apps collection.
Uh-huh.
But if you are signed into your email, and then all of a sudden you think, hey, I want to go to Wix, as long as you were signed in earlier in the day, it should remember that.
Okay.
It may ask you to create a password again, but
But you would actually have to go to the
Or sign.
Wix website, sign in page, and then do it.
yeah,
Sign
let's
in.
go ahead and try that with yours while we got it. Are you signed into your email?
27 tabs open.
That can
So,
happen.
what's
Let's
the
just do
website?
Wix.com. Wix. Yep, there you go. And then sign, or start now, either one, just right there in the middle.
Oh my gosh.
What's wrong with it?
I put in for my username 2013 too.
Interesting.
How did I do that? Oh my God. It's about my
Sign in with Google on the right, like you're
Oh, here?
in. And accept. See, all it's going to do is just use your email address to sign in with.
Okay.
So you didn't have to change a password or anything. There you go. You can select, again, with the categories,
Oh,
a
so this will be a
template. Yep.
template.
Yep. If you want to do it from scratch, I don't know that it really gives you that option. You have to start with some sort of a template.
Okay, so if I just wanted to get on
The internet.
Okay.
Let's get
Show
to
me
the
what-
line here. Okay. You like Firefox or Internet
I
Explorer?
normally go to Firefox, so I just want to do as if I'm really at school.
All right. It's the whole experience. here.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know
Yeah,
I
I-
did it.
It added it.
Yeah, I did. Up there on the top.
Huh.
Huh, that is weird.
How do you get to your email? Jen?
Normally, I will just, go to
Go to the main
person and
page.
just run it, and
I always want to make sure you're signed in.
uh-huh.
So let's go ahead and start with Wix. Wix.com.
Okay, so-
W-I-X.
Wix.com. And I'm going to just warn you that I have rheumatoid arthritis in this hand. Some days I can't even use a
Oh,
keyboard.
sorry.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm thinking.
Well, we'll swap back and forth when we do the presentation.
Okay, well, Wix.com, so it's like, it's not like it used to be where I could just type, it's like slow going, so sometimes I'm gonna have you do it for me.
Looks like both of you guys have got an account created. Deb, are you going to do Wix? Or
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay. So, create an account. Most of you guys have maybe selected a template. If not, not a
Like
big
the
deal.
template, okay.
If you want to just watch up here, and then we'll get that section. We'll get that time to change it.
I'm just
Turn
choosing
that
one
light.
of us first.
Yeah, let's turn that off so you can see better. First thing you have to do is hit edit. So now you're in a mode that is called edit mode, and you can make changes to your site.
Where was that? I'm sorry.
It was at the top, just like
Little
Google
button.
Sites, like around here.
Okay.
This particular template I picked has a lot of pictures in it, and it also has along the top just some general navigation, home, about, properties. When you click on pages, you get the option to change that button.
So when the thing pops up, sign in, just put my email in and go and,
Yep.
I went to edit, but it says sign in.
Oh,
so
right
just-
here, sign in with
So
Google.
just go ahead and, oh, sign in with Google.
And then you'll have to accept right there. So if you want to bring your eyes back up here, along the top you can kind of see
Sorry, I'll turn it down.
some navigation. This will help you kind of figure out where you're at. When you look at a page that you want to change, much like in Google Sites, it gives you this hierarchy of home and about and all the different pages that are already created. So when you drop down here, they have a contact page. Let's edit that contact page. So I've dropped down to the contact page. And they call it Get in Touch. I really don't want that, so I just click on it, and I want to change it to Edit. And I'm going to call this Contact Me for Tech Support. Just like that. Now, since that's longer, I want to be able to stretch that out. Again, very intuitive. Just take this text box and drag it out. And this is where I was telling you, Lisa, how it's it's much more modern and drag and drop, more so than where Google Sites that we used before has a very rigid structure. This is very, again, organic. You can get in there. It's like, oh, I just want to change this. Okay. They call this their property group. I'm going to go ahead and edit this. I'm going to try and make this kind of like a site for me. And I wouldn't call it property group. I'd put my name and title. I can't type.
No.
And another thing that you'll notice is there's a lot of options for fonts, colors, sizes, bold, italic, all that stuff's real easy, and it looks a lot like Microsoft Word. Just the look of it is a lot cleaner. What's that?
I like that.
I do too, I'm used to it.
It's a different environment, I like it.
Yes. So I'm going to put, and again, my text flowed over. So rather than restricting me, they give you an option to go ahead and pull out that box. And I think this is a little large. I don't want that the same size as my title. There we go. And I'm not in San Francisco. What the heck, I'll put a fax in there. I think it's that. I would never recommend this. I'm going to delete this site when I'm done, but if you want to put your own email address on a contact me kind of page, that's okay. Just expect that you'll probably get spammed a lot, because that is how a lot of spam sites grab your email address. This is a form that this particular site has integrated into it. A lot like,
Hang on, even on the Google site, you wouldn't want to put your email on that?
I wouldn't, you already have it on there though, possibly. You don't get a whole lot of spam. It's one of those things. We have a spam filter
Okay.
in the district, so,
Uh-huh.
you know, there's safeguards in place already, but
Some things still will get through,
yeah, some things do.
but
It's
not
just,
very many.
it's up to personal preference. So this is a contact form. I forget if they call these widgets. I don't know what they really call this on this. Yeah, because Google calls them widgets. They're things, a grouping of things like a calendar, a form, a this, a that. In this case, it came with this particular template, and I want it to be a little closer to the top here. And of course, this is another, what you would call widget. It's a Google Maps widget, and it lets you put a address in, and then it computes a calendar, or a, excuse me, from the last presentation, a map for you. So let's do that for mine too. This is all integrated. It's very seamless. And if it finds it, it'll actually correct it a little bit for you too. Did it find it? Okay, let's see what it does. Oh, it is. It did change it. The issue is, I didn't change this section here. I didn't realize that it wouldn't change that. The description, you could actually say anything like, this is where I work, and set it there. But it did it so quick I didn't even notice that it changed
Yeah,
the,
didn't it?
from
Yeah,
California.
it's just immediately.
Yeah.
That California thing was, I was thinking, aren't you putting where you work?
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like a thing.
No, different terrain and everything. So, let's go ahead and save that. Again, we've got this is your main kind of editing palette here. Hit save. And I want to call it, we'll call this a work site. If you'll notice, I've got dkranker.wix.com. That's the URL that they're going to give you. You're always going to have that. That's a way to get to it on the internet. URL stands for Universal Resource Locator. Whether you're at work, home, whatever, universally, this is the link to it. So make this something short and simple, and you can get to it real easy, because you'll know that your username.wix.com is all you really need to remember, and then what your page is called. So I'm going to call that the work site. And I actually kind of hate this template, so I'm going to make a new one too. And I could make a new page, but I think I want to make a whole different site, because I want to make a different, I want to show you some different tools. So all I did is I stepped back basically to this template selection, which you guys should still be at. And I'm going to do one that's more of a personal site.
Just say, can you do a community education one? Since most of us
Yeah,
are.
sorry about that.
That might be.
Well, I thought that one looked kind of cool because it had the pictures and stuff
Yeah.
on there. But I want one that's more traditional looking. You know, like, because that has so many pictures on it. I want one that's got like this here's got the navigation and everything on the top. Let's see. That'd be nuts. I like this one here.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah. Alright, simple, kind of gives you an idea. I don't want this too flashy to detract from what we're actually working on here. So we're going to edit this site just the same as we did. And this kind of gives you a review too of how to get where I'm at right now. Let's go to video. This particular box is a navigation header, and you can change the settings again by clicking on it and then right clicking, and there is your structure of the site, and you can change the order of all that, or you can add pages from here. Let's do another very simple page, and let's call it My Collections. automatically resized everything. I don't know with this particular template, I've never used this template before. That's kind of the big unknown with using Wix. What happens if I have 20 things across the top? What's it going to do? Hopefully it'll just start stacking them up, but you can always change the template. Your content's there. You can change the template as a skin over top of the website. So you won't lose anything, but you can immediately change the way it looks, which is a really handy feature. A lot of website creation tools are not that handy.
You don't have to start all over.
Yeah, they're not that handy. Once you've got into them, you're kind of stuck.
Is that simple to do? I mean,
What?
is that easy enough to do? Say if you want, you have all that down, you want to change your template.
Of course you ask me. Let's change some stuff in it, and then I'll change the template.
Okay.
Edit the text. I'm a title. Edit me. Yeah, they have this set up so that even the content is telling you what to do. Content of the page. What? Somebody give me something.
Hobbies and.
Yeah, there we go. Better not do that.
Bottles?
Well, like,
Wow.
like beer bottles.
Let's look.
This is
Really be
Need help,
interested in that
get
one.
me.
Okay. So, now I want to insert a picture. Add image. I think this is the one that will let me search for the image in Google, right in the page, maybe. Oh no, they give you some, which is nice. The thing you always have to remember that I remind people in this class too is images that you use are public, obviously. Anybody can see them. Do not put pictures of students in here unless you know for sure and have checked off that they're not someone that shouldn't be photographed. And like I said in the beginning, if you do make a teacher website and you want it linked to from our main website, Zach Fletcher will help with that. He'll also look over the site and make sure there's nothing in there that would be considered offensive or inappropriate or any student that shouldn't be photographed. So these pictures are broken up by categories, and I want a picture of my books. That's kind of what I was going for.
You can upload your own images.
Yeah, you can upload your own, and I'll show you how to do that real quick.
And then it'll go in that library right there.
It'll go into the My Images library, yeah. This free from Wix is a free clip art database that they're giving you access to. What is it? I didn't hear you.
The little pocket knife.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
No.
Well, I mean,
No.
I'm trying to make this like a personal site, so that would be like little collections of things. That would be a neat thing. Architectural interiors, maybe there's a book shelf or something. No, and you can't really search either. And that's what I was hoping this one had that it doesn't. All right, again, brings in a giant image. Not a problem though, because what do? Just click on it, and we want to edit that image, and we can crop, for example, or we can, like I just want really a little picture of that book, and save it. And still, that's too big. So, yeah, you can just grab the sides of it and scale it. Now, if you notice, if you use any graphics programs, if you just grab it, you're going to skew. No, you're not. It seems to scale it proportionally. generally I hold down Shift, yeah, and if you hold down Shift, you can maintain that scale all the way through. This is more freeform, and what it's doing is it's floating around on that cropped image. It's floating around on there, but keep maintaining the proportions. So a lot of times I'll hold down Shift and just do this so that it doesn't change the proportions on me. And then I want this more up here. And you'll notice how this floats above the text. You can change that. What they call that is like a flow option. I'm not seeing a way to change that right now. I'm not seeing an image without frame. Oh.
Stupid contacts.
Well, and that's kind of the thing. There's a lot of things going on this page, and the flyout here can sometimes get in your way.
Because there should be like a sit in the back or sit in the front type thing,
Mhm.
shouldn't there? Oh, I know.
I'm just going to save this. I need to save it anyway. And this is a personal site.
It's terrible when you gotta get right up next to it.
Well, you know
to
what,
see
that's
it.
why I didn't run my contacts today. I have such trouble.
Well, I told him, I said, my allergies, I can't focus on
That's the
anything.
thing, yeah, this time of year.
It's just like, everything's kind of blurry.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I got the
And one eye's better than the other, one's all, it's not that, it's not good. I'm just wearing my glasses.
All right, and I'm going to show you, of course, the upload image thing, and then we can do this ourselves. We need to get started on one. And like I said, with some of these things, you end up having to deal with the template that you select. In the end, you know, those things control how things look. The template controls how things look.
Now, can you change, you know, like the one that you made a while ago with all that information?
Yeah, we wanted to change the template.
Change
Yeah,
the
let's do
template and
that.
not lose your information.
Right, since we've already edited this. Okay.
You go to settings and then you,
Looking,
okay.
it looks like that's where you do it. That's supposed to be one of the features on here.
It's a little.
So they call them apps, the contact form, rather than widgets. And that was, again, that Google map or the form.
Oh, PayPal.
Yeah, send me money.
Yeah.
And you can buy apps to import into your, and that's sometimes handy, you know, sometimes you just don't want to deal with. All right, so here is how simple it is. When you get to the main page, you can click on the background and change the style.
So just by clicking on the background, this comes up.
You're actually editing like the color of what's there. Like say now I want it to be green. Now it's okay. And like that background, I don't like the grass. I want to change it. Each element is identified. Home page, or the header, and that's basically just the top part here. So if you look, if you watch what I'm doing here, as you hover over those things, you're changing the color. You'll see it change for you. Change style. Text, if I edit the text, we can change it to be a green background, or we can change it to be black letters. Text. Instead of black, let's do maybe yellow. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna let you guys get in there and do a little bit, and we'll turn the lights back on. So you've got through the template, you've picked a template.
I've chosen a template, but I don't know it's gonna work. I'm just playing right now. I just like to picture the birds, so.
Oh yeah.
Anyway. Okay, so,
Would you want to change the picture of that's shown, or do you want to change some text, or what would you like to edit on this? You're starting with the template, so you have
yeah, some kind of.
Something to
that
start
would be
with.
good for, something that would be good for school, actually, so. A template is good for school, because this one looks like it's, I don't know. It's
photography site, yeah. So it thinks it's time to save it because you've had it open. So go ahead and type a name for it.
You're faster at typing.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. What do you want to call it?
I don't know. What do you do? Oh, what's a good?
Let's do, let's call it work
Okay, work.
site. Okay, and when you click on this, you can edit it. So we don't want that. We want it to say, what do you want it to say? Okay. What's your title?
Reading teacher, 6th grade reading. And we can say teacher out of them.
Okay. And then is that kind of what you want? Or do you want, let's drop that down.
Looks like I like that.
You like it?
Yeah,
Good.
well, except, yeah. Maybe I should make that Beasley bold and not the first thing. But
Yeah, want to do it that way? Let's do it that way. They're different fonts even, which is unusual. These are styles, and this is the actual font. Do you like that font at all?
yeah, that's fine. That's good.
Then we have to match it with something else. Alright. Is that right? Did I spell your name right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got several pages about fashion, beauty, and travel. You can recycle those pages. I'm going to hit save before we get too far.
And normally on teacher websites,
Mm-hmm.
what do you, and what's just the basic main kind of things you see on those?
Like a calendar of events,
Yeah, okay.
a
You don't put
class
like any kind of a
assignments.
rubric or anything, that's too much, right? You just keep it simple.
I would keep it
basic.
something, the way I kind of look at it is something that you would show parents or as a resource for students.
Okay.
Like, do you have the kids log into their Google sites anytime?
Yeah, since
Or Google.
my room is, all we have is like
More
very
computers,
few,
yeah.
and so we really don't, unless
Okay.
they can schedule a time for everybody to go to the lab, which is what you do.
Right. I was just thinking, well, or if they're home and maybe they're not there that day, they could go to the site and download something if you call, and if they call and say, hey, what do we need? And you'd be like, well, I posted this
Okay, yeah,
particular thing, and
yeah, so, yeah, if we did that, it would be, I'm trying to think what we can do, stuff over a homeless bird, the deeper thinking, deeper reading kind of questions,
Cool.
and that kind of thing.
maybe you could use it as a way to add to what you've done in class. Maybe,
Because they have some
Yeah.
activities.
yeah, you've got the
they
things
do.
that you already do.
Yeah,
Maybe this could be something like if somebody wants to know more about a story, you could get a bunch of pictures of, say you're
or
reading.
let's just say India, it's based in India.
Perfect, so you
homeless
could
is-
get a couple pictures of India on here,
Okay,
and maybe give them some links to the Wikipedia pages. I know when I start looking around on Wikipedia, one thing, it turns into looking at other stuff,
Yeah.
so maybe it can just be a jumping off point for them to say, learn more about Indian travel, or
Yeah.
learn more about India, this particular site.
okay,
So let's do
So,
something like that,
okay.
maybe. So, this one's called fashion. I don't even want to mess with doing that. I'm just going to add a new page.
yeah,
And we want it to be based upon probably, well, a gallery's not a bad idea, but I don't want it to be solely pictures.
yeah.
So let's just do like it's a news would be good. This particular format has pictures and this text area.
Hmm.
So let's change the image. Let's make it a picture of, I'm gonna look, I doubt there's anything that reminds me of India or,
Mhm.
what is it, Taj Mahal, is that in
Yeah,
India?
Taj
Maybe
Mahal.
there'll be a picture of that, but
Mhm.
we'll probably have to find something online. Landscapes and nature, hey, maybe there'll be something.
Landscapes, and
yeah.
there's,
That's-
it's all about that.
Highland cattle? Is that,
That
that's like Scottish Highlands, but they have yaks that look like that, don't they, over
They
there?
do.
We'll do that one, that looks good. I'm sure that's, like I said, that's probably from Europe somewhere, but.
Yeah.
And there's cherry blossoms.
Yes, and they're, I don't know, they talk about tamarind trees.
Lily ponds, lily pad?
Yeah, the lily pad ponds. and-
So they talk about those things in the book?
Yeah, yeah, the actual
Cool.
lily pads. But they also have like saris, what would they wear, SARI.
Uh-huh.
and,
Alright, so let's talk about, what is this book title?
Homeless bird.
And rather than call it recent news, I want to title it Books We're Reading in Class. And homeless bird, what else can you think of with it? Oh, lily pad pond, right?
Mhm.
So we're gonna change this part. And we're gonna say,
We were just talking yesterday about how the sari looks like a lily pad because they would wade into the Ganges River.
Uh-huh.
And also.
so we'll say, in our class discussion about the homeless bird book, about the book, homeless bird, we discussed, or we compared the Sari.
Sari, S-A-R-I.
And actually, I want to show you something else cool.
It's Indian river.
Okay. And so now that you have sorry up, this is where I was talking about you could link to like a Wikipedia article about the sorry. And then that they could find out more information even from that. Like this little chain represents a link.
Okay.
So when you click on that, it'll bring up web page, email, whatever.
Yeah, you write, does it matter if I?
No,
just
in this
click?
case, just clicking on it
Okay.
will do it. When we want a web address,
Okay.
and it's telling you enter it. So I always show people make a new tab because you don't want to really lose what you got going here.
Mhm.
So let's make a new tab and let's look for Indian sorry. And I really want the Wikipedia page for it since that's, you know, legit.
Mhm.
And up here's the URL, you know, in your
Oh,
address
yeah,
bar.
yeah, yeah.
So just edit and copy that guy. And then go back to your editor, paste this right in. And at that time I right click because it was easy. Or you can do the Control V,
Yeah,
Control
yeah,
C.
they did it right
Right.
click.
And then just say open in new window is fine, and then okay. And then you get that familiar hyperlink thing. And I want to say, in our class discussion about the book Homeless Bird, and of course we want to make that italicized, we compared how the sari that the Indian women wear was very much
Very similar to,
to a lily pad, right? And you said something
In the
about
Ganges
in the
River.
Ganges River. In the photo here, you
You
can
can do, what else is it? White lily pads. What
You
do
can
You
see-
can see.
are they white lily?
Yeah, I think so. In the story, the, mentioned different colors, but that's okay.
I would say maybe mini
Yeah.
different. Alright, and then I'm gonna save this.
You put a comma after bird there too. How did you do that? You just want to put a comma there.
We're at now?
In the, our classification about the book, comma, almost bird, comma.
Okay.
So you went, you right click.
Right click,
bird,
edit,
okay.
yeah, and actually all you really have to do is double click on it,
Oh, okay.
and it opens up the edit
Mhm.
box.
Okay.
So that's, we made a new page there. We saved it, you know, you can, latest projects, you can pretty much just leave that, I mean, it kind of shows some books.
Uh-huh.
You don't have a new app though, let's change that one. I'm just trying to find something maybe school related. What else can you
It's a
see?
classroom up there now.
Oh.
Or more for homeless viewers, do something different now. We're doing, now we're doing, what we, well, pictures. I'm not sure.
Change that. So I went here, and that was under all, okay.
As you were scrolling down there, I said,
Okay, perfect. So, double click that, it's changed. A lot of topics. So what do you want to say here? Like,
be covered. I'm trying to think what we even did yesterday. It was a blur because of the Kansas State assessment.
Yep.
Oh, so much going on. Foreshadowing, figurative language, and deeper thinking skills.
All right, save that. All right, I'll bring it back up to the front now and
Okay.
cover a little more.
Okay. Yeah, we're all right.
What was that one, it's over?
I-
This is not enough time for an intro class. Okay, so up here at the top, you'll see that publish button. That's pretty important. You don't want to do all this work and not publish it. Publishing this, what that means is actually making it live on the internet. This site's not live until you hit publish.
Now, where is that button?
Right here at the top right.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry,
Your
my
head
head's
was-
probably
yeah,
away.
yeah, it's okay.
Is there any, since we've only got 10 minutes left, is there anything specific someone would like to cover?
Or just this has to 11, I don't know. I think we 11 to 12. Well, so like, I shouldn't click publish because I'm still working on this.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm just.
Yeah, I would
I'm
not
just
at
playing
all.
with it, but still.
You want to go back to it, you just go to wix.com or that URL that we had come up. It said for yours, I think it was bbeasley.wix.com,
Yeah.
which will take you there.
Okay.
And then I think this was /worksite is just what I called it.
So,
Let's get
but
into,
I would need to save this.
You've
as
got a lot
publish,
more
though.
freedom with this one than you did before. I mean,
yes.
as far as
Right,
what you
right.
want to change about.
This is Weebly, weebly.com. We're going to take a real quick look at it. If you want to get signed in or just watch me, we can see how it looks.
And how do you spell weekly? I can't see that far.
Weebly.
Okay.
So we can skip the first thing, and we're going to create a site. From here we can select a template. I think this is a pretty good one here. You get a color scheme option with this one. And we'll choose purple because that would make more sense for a school site. Again, up here at the top, we've got a lot of options for editing, but we're going to have to select what we want to call it first. I'm just going to do the Kranker, which is my username, .weebly.com. Continue there. It's giving you a video on how to do that, but I want to go ahead and build my site. So and this is the one that's more of the drag and drop. If I want text over this, say over this picture, I just drag it in here and I got it right there. This has 3 pages built into it already. We can edit what's there. We can go to the pages and delete what's there. If we don't want it anymore, we can delete that page. We got a contact page. We're going to keep it. We're going to save it and edit it. And let's see, I want a picture of me on there. And I want text underneath it. What do you think about this one, Deb? You think it's, which one are you working on now? Still Wix?
No, Weebly,
Yeah.
So Weebly's easier.
because this one's got the search.
It depends on, your definition of easy. And like I was telling Lisa earlier, once you get a site that's fairly complex, you're going to have multiple things on top of other things. So what becomes hard is just knowing how to do the different things, the different changes you want to make. Say, we'll take that.